Hi y'all, this is Philippe the Learn to Grow guy. I'm out here today because today is the day that I get to work on my rainwater catchment maintenance. Okay, here's what we've got. Up there coming from the roof where my cabin is, water comes out of there, goes through this pipe and goes onto here. This building here is the water and power building, and water comes from this roof, goes past that nest up there, continues on and goes on into there also. And that is how water gets into the building. Inside the building, water comes in through the pipe, goes into the tank itself. This is the tank. Now on the inside of the tank is a pre-filtering system, okay, which I have neglected for more than a year, okay? And I gotta tell you, it's a mess on the inside. Okay, I don't know if you can see that or not, but water goes in, it goes in through these into those 7 holes, and each of those holes is a filter. As you can see, this is filthy. It's got stuff in it. We're gonna take it outside so that we can clean them. I'm gonna have to do this 7 times with each of these. Well, 7 times meaning that one for each of those pre-filters that's inside. Now, since my tank is indoors, the building is only so high. What I had to do is, see, it's inside, okay? What I had to do is that I had to make sure that the tank was at least 1 foot to 2 feet underground, okay? Right now, this is where it said I put bubble wrap around it so I can maintain a gap of approximately, I don't know, inch and a half or so all the way around the tank. And that's just in case the tank would expand when it's full of water. Right now the tank is about here, which is about, I say almost halfway up, okay? So water goes in there, right? It fills the tank, but water comes out here as a surplus water. All extra water goes out and goes out here, goes underground and out into the woods, okay? Now, when I need water, water comes out from underground, okay? It goes in through here, goes in through this larger pipe here. It's about a 1 inch, maybe an inch and a half pipe, whatever size it is. Water goes through here, goes through that valve and goes to the pump. This pump itself provides about roughly 60 pounds of pressure or so into the system, okay? Water goes in, comes out there, goes to the first filter. Now, these 2 filters have already been changed, and I'm going to show you what they are, okay? This one is the 5 micron yarn or string filter, and it takes material out as of what is about 5 microns wide, and this one here is a carbon filter, which takes out odor and how you say, and bad taste out of the water. From there, the water travels through here, goes through this ultraviolet system. As you can see, it's glowing here. And since it was just reset, this was set to give me 12 months. Okay? So water goes through here, goes through this pipe. This is after it's been, what this does is that it actually sterilizes any viruses and bacteria. That's what it does, okay? That's its entire purpose, so that I'm not drinking anything that could potentially do me harm. So anyway, it goes up, goes around, comes around this side, okay, goes behind the pump and goes here. This here is where the 2 water lines, okay? I have one that's for my main cabin where I'm staying at. The other one is for a future. This one here is for a future. That's why I shut off. This one is the one that feeds the cabin and provides me with all the water I need. It goes through here, goes underground, and goes out the building. Now, on the inside of this tank, what I've got is that this water here, after going through that pre-filter, it does not just pour out and dump into here. See, the pump is going at this point. That's the whining sound that you're hearing, okay? The pump is going. Okay, back to the tank. On the inside, it's like there's a J-shaped pipe that goes down and it comes back up, and that's how water goes in and it comes into the tank. The water does not drop down into the bottom for the simple reason that at the very bottom of the tank, there is a layer of what's called biofilm on the bottom of it, okay? Basically, that layer is about 1 foot thick, maybe about 1 foot high, and that is where you have a bunch of stuff, bacteria, whatever that lives under there, in there. And what it does is that it actually eats up and consumes some of the stuff that's not necessarily good for us. Whether it's aluminum that's in the water, whatever it is that may be in the water, that stuff's supposed to take care of that. It works in a very similar way to the way that if you make the appropriate compost, you can actually put it out on how you say, you can put it out in a garden area, a land area where there's toxic stuff in there, where there's potentially even some radioactive stuff in there too, and basically the bacteria, fungi, whatever it is that's in that bio stuff in the compost, it should actually neutralize, consume, contain, or do whatever it does to make sure that the whatever it is you're going to be growing that ground is actually solid material. Okay, it's actually stuff that's not contaminated, stuff that will not kill you. Now, again, you have to make sure that you use the right compost. Okay, and like I said, I'm comparing that to what is inside the tank in the bottom portion of the tank, because as you can, how you say, because as you may have noticed that there was no first flush diverter. Okay, I do not have a first flush diverter, and that's because I had that biofilm, the biofilm on the inside the bottom of the tank. Okay, out here, here's what we've got. This is the spun filter. This is the old one. Okay, in my opinion, it's not in too bad of a shape. Okay, it's not in too bad shape. I think we probably could have gotten several more months out of this, but again, this system, what the filters and such have been in there for at least 2 years, but they function for about a month. I'm sorry, for about a year. And the reason is that we were just going back and forth from Chicago, and wherever we go on vacation, we shut the system down, and so therefore it preserved everything. Okay. However, even after the 12-month cycle has gone by for the system, since we don't use tons of water and watering gardens and everything else, we basically use water for showering, cooking, cleaning, and things of that nature. That's what we use water for around here. Very seldomly would I use some water to water gardens, unless I'm working with starts. Okay, unless I've got seeds and things like that that I'm trying to get moving. All right. Okay, back to the filters. Again, this is the string one, the string filter. That was the very first filter that was in the system. And this one is the carbon filter. Okay. This is the carbon filter. The carbon filter has some kind of dense material that water has to penetrate through to get into. This here was what was in the inside, making contact with the carbon, which I'll talk about in a moment. And these different layers here is where the water had to go through before it would make it to the carbon to clean it out. All right. Now, if you look, notice that the outside portion is on the dirty side. See, it's on the dirty side. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There was 7. Well, there appears to be about 7 layers, and maybe more, maybe less. We didn't have enough filth going through here as to where it would mess up get all the other layers dirty. So again, which means that this carbon filter probably could have used it a whole lot longer. Now, what I've got here is this here. Okay. These are like carbon flakes that they rolled up and stuff like that. It seemed like there's a fabric or something. Yeah, it's like some sort of a fabric, and it looks like it's infused with carbon. This filter is not being used anymore. This is not the type of filter that I have in there now. Right now, the type of filter that I have in the system is one as to where it is a solid block of compressed charcoal. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, that's what it is. It's a solid compressed block of charcoal. That's the stuff that I have for a filter now. This here is the UV light. That's what how you say, this is what sterilizes the bacteria, fungus, whatever it is that may have gotten into the water. This is something that would be classified as a hazardous material for the simple reason that it has mercury in it. Okay, it has mercury vapor. It has probably had a little bit of mercury liquid on the inside once upon a time, but as of now, the mercury is gone. Okay, and again, it produces that blue light that I just saw on the inside earlier. See the blue light? It's that blue ultraviolet light that actually kills the It kills the fungus, the bacteria, the viruses that may have made it into the water. Now, the way this works is this, okay? This tube actually sits inside, this light actually sits inside of a tube, inside that compartment that I showed you earlier. I'll show it to you now. Okay, that tube sits inside of here. The light bulb sits inside of a tube that's inside of here, okay? And basically water flows all throughout, all around, okay? And like I said before, the water comes up through here, goes through where the light is, and it comes out up there, all right? And that's where the bacteria, viruses, and stuff like that get sterilized. Now, you can eat almost any bacteria, virus, or whatever. As long as they're not able to multiply on your insides and do you harm that way, you should be all good. And that's what the light's for. It sterilizes everything coming out of there. Okay, this is going back to the pre-filter. Okay, these are the filters I took out of the system. As you can see, it's pretty dirty in there. Like I said, I did a lousy job in maintaining them. Excuse me. Every couple of months, I should have gone inside and cleaned them out. See that? This is the stuff that comes out of there. And again, if I'm cleaning them, these bags are supposed to be white, but they're not quite white anymore. Okay, but this is the stuff that I've gotten out of there. This is stuff that came through the roof of both buildings. And as you can see, even though we have the little screen there, you have pine needles that actually make it through there. Otherwise, this is stuff that would normally be released through the, what's that thing called? Through the first flush diverter. But again, you would still get some kind of you still get some gook growing on the bottom of your tank, for the simple reason that it does not get rid of everything. Yes, the first flush diverter would get rid of some stuff, but there's still stuff that would still get in there, because winds blow, stuff gets on the roads, okay, and everything don't always get washed off. Now, there is something I can tell you, and that is, the cleaner you keep your system from the very beginning, meaning that from these pre-filters going through everything, the cleaner your water will be. So the more you keep these pre-filters clean, the more you keep your other filters replaced every year or 6 months, depending on how much heavy water you're using, the cleaner your water is going to be. Okay, that's my take on it. But again, everything starts at the very beginning. If you have a first flush diverter, make sure that is cleaned out regularly, okay? If you have a system like I have with a pre-filtering system, make sure that is cleaned out regularly, okay? This is a guy who let his stuff get neglected for about 2 years, okay? And that was just completely irresponsible of me, okay? Now, one thing to keep in mind about rainwater, and that is that rainwater is actually more on the acidic side, okay? It's actually on the acidic side. It's good for cleaning. If my memory serves me right, the acidic water is good for cleaning. It's good for a lot of stuff. You can drink it also, but again, you want to make sure that for your health purposes, you want to make sure that you're taking in additional minerals or whatever else that you may need to take, so that you maintain a decent or proper pH balance in your system. Okay, it's not just the water, it's not just the stuff that you drink, it's also the food that you eat. Okay, you want to eat homegrown foods and stuff like that, grown from your own garden, where as the stuff is grown, it's mineral rich. It's got, you want to grow your food organically in the proper environment that it needs to grow in, with good compost and stuff like that, so that the foods that you're eating is actually very healthy foods. It's actually clean food, and it's rich in the minerals that your body needs to maintain the proper pH balance. Okay, this is the cleanest I've been able to get this one, okay, before I put it back into the tank in the system, which is the pre-filter. There's a significant difference. And like I said, this was supposed to be white, but again, I've done a lousy job at neglecting it, okay? I've done a good job at neglecting it, okay? So, guys, I've got another 6 to do, and so I'm going to let y'all go. Y'all take care. Oh, before I forget, do me a favor, okay? The favor is this. I need you guys to give the videos a thumbs up if you think this was good material, if you think this was good information to share with you. The more you like it, the more you like the videos, the how you say, the better that it gets the videos out there so that other people can see them. And if other people see them, and if they decide to what's the word not invest, but to, well, if they sign up for the channel and such, okay, if they sign up for the channel, that means that the channel grows. Remember, we do have a goal of 500 to get to, okay? A goal of 500 people to 1,000 people to get into the subscribership, okay? Into the subscribers, okay? So again, if you have not liked okay, subscribed or shared, please do so. All right, y'all take care.